This is Rebecca, the Steampunk Planner. Today we're not going to be talking about a specific product. We're going to be talking about how to find ink. So I've got Atlas Stationers here, which is one of the sites that I use because it's near me. And then I'm also going to bring up Goulet pens. And you can see here I'm on the internet. I've only gotten a couple of tabs available right now because I don't want to go overboard. But one of my clients or viewers is in India, and there are quite a few inks that I showcase that are not available. So I definitely would recommend, if you can't get a hold of these sites, to Google whatever search engine that you use. You can even go to Etsy and put in there in the filters where you are, where you want the item from. Now there are quite a few pens. Companies. All I put into the search parameter was fountain pen ink from India. You can even put it fountain pen ink in India. I did get quite a few listings from stores in India, as well as like Amazon and Jet Pens, who will ship there. There are companies in Europe like Cult Pens that probably would ship there. So I'm just going to go to Atlas Stationers just to work with you and show you what you need to be looking for. So right now I'm in Atlas Stationers shop categories, and I look for ink bottles. If your fountain pen does not have a feed where you only have a cartridge, then look up ink cartridges. They also some will have for dip pens, calligraphy pens, things like that. But we'll get there when I get there. So here is the bottled inks main page on Atlas Stationers. And you can see on the side here all of the brands that they have available. Now, Wearing Mule is one of my favorites, so I'm going to go in there. You'll see here that they have it arranged by, I can look in specific colors as well as the company. So here you can see all of it is listed very easily for you to make a choice along with the swatches. You're going to have many choices from things like Wayfarer, which has a glitter, a sheen, and pigment. Now, what I want to bring up is on companies or stores that carry specific companies, they're going to have a description from the actual company website on this product. But some companies will go ahead and do specs for it from the company and from what they've found out. So everything is here from the description from Wearing Mule, along with the size of the bottle, where it's from. And then here we have product specs. And this is from the product specs of the original company. It's telling you who the brand name is, the type of ink, size, if it has a shimmer, if it has a sheen, if it has shading, water resistant, pigment, and materials of the bottle. So let me go back, and Wednesday is up with me. It's early in the morning, and yet I was hoping he would stay with Steve, but I guess not. One of the other companies that I also like is Ferris Wheel Press, but right now I want to try and find an ink that I currently own to get a shadowing from. Now here's White Rabbit. This one does not have a glitter or a sheen, and this is a type of color that I love. And you can see here the specs. And I want to show you a little bit of more of a close-up image of this. So to show you the shadowing, this is how gorgeous it is. Now this light color is the base. And then here you go second, and then this is if it puddles. And you can see how much different this is to even writing. But the more it puddles, the more of the different colors that you're going to see at their different levels in this. It's really a beautiful ink. And I love how ink does that in the shadowing with how it's made. So one of the other companies I use is Ferris Wheel Press. And they have different styles and sizes of bottles. They also do a lot of shimmer. And again, these are images from Ferris Wheel Press website as well. Ferris Wheel Press usually has a story along with their ink tones and characters that they like to talk about and create for each of the products. So I think that's really interesting, and I love it because when I do Ink of the Month, it's great, but it's also really great for helping you decide what feel, if that's where you're going with your product. Now this does also have product specs. And here we go. Its base color is pink. The volume, shimmer, yes. Sheen, no. Shading, low. So it doesn't have as much shading as what, say, the Wearing Your White Rabbit did. But it definitely has the shimmer. So this is all Atlas Stationers. And I want to go over to, let's see, another company. Actually, yeah, let me go into a Ferris wheel because I keep saying that this is what you get from the company, or that they're using image stock or anything like that, or descriptions from the company. So I'm in Ferris Wheel Press right now. And let me find the ink that I'm looking for. Companies like Ferris Wheel Press have a larger selection of inks. They have more of a calligraphy ink, which is what this Copper Carnival is. You will see here in blue that this is not for use in fountain pens, rollerball pens, or feeder systems. It is used for dip pens, brushes, washable instruments. So that is something you need to be looking for when you're trying to find a fountain pen ink. Make sure that it is usable for a fountain pen ink. The reason this is not for fountain pen ink is the amount of glitter and product that they have actually put in the ink that makes it thick, that you cannot get it through a fountain pen. So be aware of that. Now, one of the things that I talk about, and for a lot of my inks, is archival or document ink, which means it's waterproof or water resistant. And the Atramentis is one of those companies. You can find this on Amazon. But this is the black, and it's not a black. You can see the gray shading. So it's really a dark gray. But here in Goulet pens, I like Goulet pens because they will do a testing on their own of the product. So here you have the smear test and you have the drip test. The smear test just tells you it takes a little bit longer than they're saying for it to dry. And then the drip test, yeah, it's waterproof. But be aware when you're using something like that, that means you have to go through a little bit more on cleaning your brushes. Now, they have details and you have the technical specs. Same again, they got this from the company and from their own working with the product. These are things that you want to look for. If there's a company near you that doesn't do something like this, then definitely look at other companies online. Get that information, then look it up near you, or look up stores near you. You can even contact your store that's near you and see if they can get that ink in, that company brand in. Those are options. But here you will see Goulet Pens does have different types of inks, even ink samples that you can purchase if you're unsure about the ink that you're getting. And believe me, they've got loads of ink. A lot of companies will carry more than just a handful of inks, mainly because they have got to make sure that they're making their ink artists and fountain pen enthusiasts happy. So here I am going to go into this company, which is a store located in India, and it's actually in Mumbai. And I'm going to, just to show you, let me get all of those pop-ups out of here. I always go into the contact us because most times you're going to find the information, and up here at the top it will give you shipping options for the area. So this is in Mumbai, and a lot of them will do free shipping if you do a certain amount of purchase. So that's great. So now we've got this settled in Mumbai. And when you click on it, immediately shows that you can get a newsletter, and you can see down at the bottom that they do have a rewards system. Reward system means for every purchase you get a certain reward that you can then later on get product with. So these are the fountain pen. They actually have calligraphy pen, fountain pen, Indian ink, ink sets, refills. So you've got quite a lot of source here. So let's go, let me look. I'm curious about the Indian ink. Okay, this is by Harbin, and this is Indian ink. This ink is made mainly for artists. So it's not one, I mean, you could probably use it in your fountain pen, but I would definitely make note that if you did, that because this has shellac in it, it's not going to be an easy one to get out of your pen. So stick with it more on a dip pen, calligraphy pen, artist pen type of a thing. I'm actually kind of curious about this one myself, because it is an infallible and water resistant, yeah, and solvent resistant. Oof. Yeah, you really don't want to use that in a fountain pen. That'll be the last time you use it. It's fast drying, which is really good for an artist. So this is really great. It's a permanent color. It's really sounds like a great ink line for artists. And here is the specs. They call them features, but this is the specs on this ink. I'm going to have to look into getting some of that for some artwork. That's interesting. So here they have it under, they're listing under writing instruments. Definitely go into fountain pen ink. It's going to always be the safest. And you can see that there are many different selections. Now, I did use a Robert Oster ink that is a collaboration with Coffee Monster Co. Unfortunately, you cannot get that other than from Coffee Monster Co. when she has it in stock. So Robert Oster themselves won't bring it in, but you can get many different others by Robert Oster that are very similar. And Robert Oster, I wanted to show you this, has amazing sheen in their products. This shimmering gold is just gorgeous. I've used Pelican. Let's see. There are quite a few Watermen. There are quite a few inks that I've used. The Pilot, they have Octopus, which is a great ink. So you do have many choices for the different products here in Mumbai. You can also, if you would prefer, to instead of just searching, go to brands. They looks like they may have that brand's ink as well as the fountain pen. But I definitely would also take a look at your Amazon or your Etsy. Now, Etsy, you probably won't get free shipping unless you hook for or click for free shipping. But I definitely would just put into your search parameter, as I just did, to search for ink in your area. And you can even put it down to your section of area, like I'm in Lexington, Kentucky. You know, some people will put in questions like here, can Noodler's ink and get an availability in India? Well, the site that I was just on had Noodler's ink on it. So yes, it's something that you just need to have a little bit of extra patience and a little bit more Sherlock Holmesy.